have him with us today. I'm sure this session will give you all some great insights and help you understand how AI is shaping the future. So please listen carefully and make the session interactive. On behalf of Kite Group, I again welcome Mr. Chapa. Thank you so much for taking your time to be with us today, sir. Over to you, sir. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you once again. Good morning, Bharati ma'am. And guys, how's everyone?
Pretty fine, sir.
Yes. We have commonalities and similarities. I'm also engineering graduate, like many of you, and JNTU Hyderabad. And I'm 2004 graduate. Back then it was Hyderabad, JNTU Hyderabad. So after my graduation, I'll go a little bit of my intro further. After my graduation, I worked for Cognizant and then I joined with the IBM. I'm an ex-IBM too. So in 2010, IBM brought me to US telling that, hey, Mr. Ram Chapa, you're doing good at your work in the projects. We need you. We need your experts. We need your skills. We need your knowledge. And they brought me to America. So since then, I'm here and I have total close to 20 plus years of software engineering, IT technology experience, especially in the last decade, last 10 plus years, more onto it started with the data analytics. I started seeing more and more data projects that I'm working on. Then it started with the data analytics. And once data analytics is there, we started identifying, gathering, and looking at the data patterns. Then we started data science. After that, we applied machine learning. That's a sequence of, the more data we have, the more patterns we are uncovering from the data that we are handling or the projects that we are delivering. We are expanding our knowledge and we are applying the more complex data science and machine learning solutions too. So, with that said, I'm going to share my screen. We're not going to go very deep into the technology. I will lightly touch upon various how data science evolved, and from data science how machine learning was brought into picture, and then artificial intelligence. And if you see last one and a half year, last 12 months to 18 months, it's more onto the gen AI. So I'll be sharing some screen and we can talk about them. So feel free to stop me if I'm running too fast or if you have any questions, you can ask, or you can let Durga knows, she will convey to me. We can walk through those questions. Anybody want to volunteer or give quick 1 2 lines of either data science or artificial intelligence? Don't worry about right or wrong answer. I want people to, speak up. Anyone? Anybody want to volunteer? You can say anything. Don't
Like
worry about
I
right or wrong.
Hi, this is Naga from Tech Data. We are also dealing with pretty much with the data like your initial stages, Ram. We are working as a data engineers. And what we heard, we are using currently Databricks Gen AI. There we are using like a prediction, like chatbot related thing. If a business want like a scorecard, they know like those kind of business technology. They want to gather the respective tables, whatever they want to know, like backend score. They know like a scorecard or any report related, the technology related to business. In that point of view, if they chart in the Databricks Gen AI, then backend it has to give the respective tables from the data, from our repository data warehouse. Like if they say the scorecard means that scorecard related catalog, what are the tables are there, it has to push into the chart part. Like that, it's automatically generating with AI.
Okay. So it's a conversational chatbot. When user
Correct.
ask any questions, it will run some background queries and it will bring the relevant data and data tables with a scorecard.
Correct. That is one use case what we faced in the real time scenarios.
Excellent. That is one excellent. So let me quickly share my screen, guys. So I'm going to touch lightly and When was the data science, artificial intelligence people started talking about? Any guess? We hardly hear from last 4 5 years, right? Yes, no?
Correct.
But there is so much of hype. People are talking, companies are adapting, industries are behind this data science, machine learning, and artificial intelligence. But to the matter of the fact, AI and data science, especially data science, was there even almost last 30, 40 years. Even it was there before 1980s also. Back then, there used to be deep neural networks, conventional CNN, convolutional networks. Likewise, we used to have algorithms. We used to have rules engines. But those projects are very, very rare and they are limited to research and development projects, not like a regular use. Like one of the example that Naga mentioned, she mentioned a chatbot application. That's a general use application. We don't need any research or any development, like a medical treatment or any disease treatment. It's not something related to medical or pharma. We don't need to do too many research and development. But this data science and artificial intelligence, it is there almost as 1940s 1950s, but very minute and very light. Later on, phase by phase, as we are gathering more data, social media came into picture. On top of that, we have systems capturing, grabbing the data, holding the data. You guys might see latest iPhones or Samsung Android, they're almost 512 GB. Guess right? Yes, no?
Yes, Ram. Yeah, around
So
512.
512. Look back 5 years, 10 years back. Do we have at least 250 GB? Do we have
No.
60 GB? No, right? It is very expensive. We used to have 8 GB, 16 GB, 32 GB, 5 10 years back. So what happened is, as the infrastructure companies, chip manufacturing like Nvidia, AMD, Dell, as these companies are evolving and innovating more and more data storage, data holding devices, the data holding capacity has been increased over a period of time. So that means technically we started gathering, holding, and working around with more and more data in the last 10 years. So to simply put, data science and artificial intelligence was there even before 1980s, 1960s, but it is where and it is limited to very only certain segments of the industry, like medical, health, and research. Like back then, it used to be, fever and those some specific fevers like malaria or dengue fever. It used to. There are cases like people died like anything. It took almost 20, 30 years to come back with a drug and medicine to get a cure for that, to get a vaccine for that. Nowadays, are we afraid of fever? No, hardly. It may be 4 days, 5 days, right? Nobody dies just like with fever. So what happened is over a period of last 40 years, 50 years, there is more and more data coming from different channels, different platforms, different routes, different paths. Airline industry started gathering more information. Medical industry started gathering more information. Retail. If you look back, retail, uh, uh, what retail stores we have in DMart, Vijeta, and Flipkart, right? eBay and Amazon also. Okay. So we are gathering lot of data. We are working with lot of data. So last 10 years, what happened is data used to be a entity, is a commodity that anybody can use data. They can read the data, they can understand the data, they can determine the patterns and the way data is distributed among one section versus other sections. In last 10 years, data becomes oil or solar power. As crude oil is like anything. Can we guess the world without oil? Can any one of you boys run bikes? Can we run cars? Can we transport? No, right?
No.
So data becomes very massive. Data becomes started becoming very massive, very huge. People started understanding the data patterns, hidden data structures, data ways, data modeling, everything. Out of the data patterns, we started describing, hey, data is like this, data is like this, airline data is like this, petroleum or natural gas. For example, we have millions gas stations in India. What else? Who's the other gas provider? When I say gas, means petrol and diesel. Any name? Gas station's name? Network name?
CNG,
What did you say?
CNG,
CNG, and let's say telecom. Okay, who are our telecom providers? Airtel, Vodafone,
AT&T.
Reliance.
idea,
Yeah, if you come to US, AT&T, Verizon, and T-Mobile, Frontier, there are three, four other small players in the market. But back in India, the majority share is more with Reliance, Vodafone. Somebody said Idea, Airtel. These are the players, right? These are the providers. There are small providers and some guys are there, but not top five or top 10. These are the guys, right? So what happened is, when telecom is expanding so heavily, there are more number of users has been added, started using these mobiles, communicating this way, that way. We have communication to talk. People can talk, text, type. They can send exchange the images, video files, all these different data formats. Talking itself also is a one kind of data communication, right? I'm talking something to somebody else after 6 months or 1 year. I want to retrieve the data. So it has to store somewhere. Suppose you are talking to somebody else and something got you have to retrieve the data. You need to go back to the storage and start extracting it. Likewise, data started systems and industries, and people started generating more and more data simultaneously. Parallelly, we have infrastructure also developed. When I say infrastructure, data storage devices. Okay, the capacity has been increased. Back then, 10, 20 years back, when people say 32 GB, 64 GB, 8 GB RAM for computers and laptops, it's very massive. Nowadays, 8 GB and 12 GB is very minimal and very base things. 32 GB or 64 GBs are the advanced ones. Agree with me?
Yes, Ram. It's
So
increased a lot.
yeah, so
yes,
out
sir.
of this slide, what I want to say is, data science and artificial intelligence started evolving over a period of last 4 to 5 decades, last 40 to 50 years. So you can take a look at, each 10 years, how it is changing. I'm not going to much of this. Are we good with this slide? So let's say
Yes, Ram.
data science was there and, since back then. So in the olden days, goes back to 20, 30 years, we don't have Python. Okay, R was not there. Even the Python was there, but it was not very famous. It used to be COBOL, mainframe, Perl, C shifting, Perl, C++, COBOL, and Java. Java also multiple versions. So what happened is, when people started looking at data science, first they started with the data describing the data, how the data is good or bad. When the data is good or bad, let's separate them into good data, bad data, good data, bad data. Let's say good data. In within the good data, I want to classify it. Let's say there are 10,000 data points, 10,000 images. Some of the images are cat, and some of the images are dog, and some of the images are monkeys. So what I want to do is, I want to label, I want to classify cats as cats, dogs as dogs, and monkeys as monkeys. If there is any confusion or if there is any ambiguity, I can still mark them, label them as not available. or no label at all. Likewise, we started up data partitioning, data separation, data logically, data classification, we call it as, and there we are applying the data science machine learning models. One of the model when we call data separation is classification algorithms. Okay. Now we all know back in India also it is very much advanced, and we are all using GPS. Okay. You can somebody now all of you are in almost, are you guys in the fourth semester, final year?
No, sir, they are in
Third year.
sixth semester. They are third year students.
Third year students. Okay, let's go
Yes.
back 5 years back. So 5 years back means you guys are almost plus intermediate or 10th class. Let's go 10 years back. When you guys are fifth standard or sixth standard, as an example, how many of you think there is a navigation, GPS? Can anybody answer? Very few, right? Do we have
No.
navigation in the India? Do we have cars, bikes, or Google Maps, phones, you know, enabled with GPS? No. And another example that I can recollect is, do we have weather forecasting? Does anybody tells you that within next 5 days there will be super rains, thunderstorms, cyclones in Kokinada beach or Vizag beach or Hyderabad for that reason? No, right? 10 years back,
No. No,
No,
sir.
maybe
sir.
it is there, but the accuracy levels are very minimal accuracy.
Exactly. Exactly, sir.
Yeah, somebody saying something. Go ahead, please. So anyway, so basically what happened is as we started seeing more and more data, system started creating more and more data. We have systems like machine learning algorithms and data science models applying on the data, understanding the data, classifying them, putting them into different transformation and mathematical calculations with the help of Python, Java, and R programming, and definitely frameworks like TensorFlow and PyTorch. We started reading, understanding, and labeling it correctly. And the same approach in the GPS also, navigation also. So why I used the GPS is, when you start some point from start point to end point, in how much time you will be reaching there. Say for example, if you start from Kakinada to Hyderabad, it may take 8 hours or 10 hours. What is the travel distance, travel time by
8 hours,
car?
sir.
By 8 hours, right? And if we go other side from Kakinada to Vizag, 4 hours.
Yes, sir. 4 hours, sir.
Okay. So what happens is if we start from Kakinada to Vizag without any breaks, you may go on 4 hours. If there is a traffic delay, or if you are stopping for a break, some breakfast, something, lunch, dinner, it adds more time. It is running the engine, it is recalculating, and it is reforecasting based on the data that you are giving to the satellite. Correct? So how we are generating the dynamically online, on fly time, and the duration and everything is based on the data patterns, based on the satellite GPS navigation, latitude and longitude where you are on the road. Satellites reads your car location, it sends back to a system, it runs the engine, and it will send back to you. Hey, you started at 12 o'clock in the afternoon. You're supposed to reach by 4 p.m. in the evening, but you are stopping at a break point for gas or for break room or something. We are adding another 20 minutes or 30 minutes. Or sometimes what even it will even uh, rearrange and suggest the alternative routes if there is a traffic. Can we guys relate that? So likewise, we started seeing a lot of data, and we started analyzing and applying data science and machine learning models in the in the models in the real time scenario. I want to give one more realistic example applying data science and data science forecasting and data science classification. Now I'm sure all of you very much familiar with the eBay, Flipkart, and Amazon shopping, right? Amazon
Yeah.
shopping, Amazon
Yeah.
India. If you log into the
Yes, sir.
website, how many products you see? How many unique products you see? Millions of unique products, right? How many suppliers are there to Amazon? The suppliers are spread all over India. Okay, sometimes even Amazon gets products shipped from other countries like nearby countries, Bangladesh, Pakistan, Sri Lanka, Malaysia, Singapore, even some other far countries also. So what happens is to maintain that millions of products, the inventory, the item details, the product details, cost and weight, dimensions, all that you need to have a massive system. And say, for example, you are sitting in Kakinada somewhere and you are ordering a latest iPhone, it has to come from somewhere. Can it be shipped from Vizag, the nearest bigger city? Can it ship from Kakinada itself, or can it ship from Hyderabad? They need at least 1 or 2 days to deliver you, right? Otherwise, you have to go to the store and pick from the Apple store or some store. So how this forecasting happens? So if you can recollect, Amazon also runs sales events once in a year or twice in a year, right? Amazon sales holiday or something like that they call them. So during that holiday period or the sales event, they prepare for the volumes of they predict and they forecast how many iPhones I can send. People are waiting. How they do? They look back last 3 4 years, how many cell phones they sold throughout Andhra Pradesh, throughout Telangana, and throughout South India, throughout India. Likewise, they have multi-level forecasting and predicting data science models. They run all these data patterns and data points going back to the historical first 3 to 4 years of data. They come to a point, hey, for Kakinada, for this year 2025, for this month of October and November, let's keep 5,000 phones, 10,000 phones. Okay, that's the forecasting. Sometimes what happens is, as and when phones are getting sold, okay, we have a real-time data capturing. As the phones are getting sold, stores are sending that, hey, we are running out of stock. Can you send us more? Can you send one more 100 more for the next 1 week? Can you send 200 more? Likewise, this is our planning purpose, business plan. We apply all these data science and machine learning models. Are we good? Are we going to, are we going too deep? Are we this, guys? Are we good? Good, good. Yeah. Anyone has any questions? Uh, Anyone has any questions? Likewise, there are so many machine learning models we can apply. Each problem has each machine learning solutions. As you can see, some of the ML types, I'm sure you might be, going through these all these ML types in your regular curriculum as well. And people who are already working like Naga, they might be doing one or the other way, applying this ML type on the data that they already captured. They transformed the data. They made sure the data is in very good condition. Data not necessarily every time it will be in the good shape that we can inject into the machine learning model with Python programming or R programming or any other programming for that matter. Let's say I want to uh, I have a use case, I have a business requirement, or let's say I'm a State Bank of India and I'm a ICICI Bank, somebody is applying for credit card. or somebody is applying for a educational loan. Okay, so when somebody applied for a educational loan or credit card, what we will do, we will submit the application. User will submit the application. User will provide his income details, his residential details, and other assets and other information. Correct? Agree with me? So out of the data that provided, we supplied these machine learning models. They look at all the data. They comes back with a score of approval or non-approval. Let's say person name A applied. These are the details. His score was so and so. And B applied. His score was approval rate score was so and so. Sometimes what happens is machine learning model ran very nicely, but it got confused and it cannot make its own decision. It needs human intervention, in-person intervention, and it will send it to the next live agent or a manager at SBI or a manager, loan approval manager at SBI or senior manager or senior director. Hey, I ran the machine learning model. This is my score for this applicant name X. It looks good for me, but I want you to take a look and can you approve this manually? So technically, though we are applying all these machine learning models, all these, oftentimes we cannot fully trust the systems. We still need human intervention, manual intervention to approve the loan application. And another use case, as we can see here, price prediction. As somebody said, we have Amazon, we have Flipkart, and we have Walmart, we have eBay, and there are a lot of other sites too also. So what happens? So let's say we are looking at a product from Amazon India versus Walmart India. How do they set the price for particular product? If somebody want to buy a laptop with a highest configuration, how Walmart decides the price? How Amazon decides the price? Hey, I want to keep 80,000 Indian rupees as a price for this product, this laptop with advanced configuration. And what engine, what algorithm Amazon runs? What they do is historically they will look back the data, how this product or similar product or earlier version of the same laptop was sold in the last 2 to 3 years. Okay. And they take that as a first input. They will supply that information to the machine learning model. Hey, this is the last 3 years of data. I'm giving it to you. And in the last 6 months, prices has been increased due to inflation, due to tariffs, or due to weather conditions, or I was working previously with a supplier one. Supplier one is not available. Now supplier two is available, but supplier two is charging more. Likewise, we plug in more and more data into the machine learning algorithm. Comes back with a price prediction. Oftentimes, what we do also, we do look at the competitors. Amazon India and Walmart India competitors. eBay is competitor. So what they do is they buy the data. How they buy the data? They can Walmart cannot buy data directly from Amazon. Amazon cannot buy data directly from Walmart. Flipkart, it won't work like that. There's a third party data sellers will be there, like a gas seller, like a mobile seller, fruit seller, vegetable sellers. Like there are companies, third party companies, we call them as data providers. They buy the data from Amazon and Walmart. Again, it is a general public data, not sensitive data. What is sensitive data? Somebody's credit card number is sensitive data. Somebody's date of birth is sensitive data. Somebody's income is somewhat sensitive data. But your product price, product details, product weight, product color, product images, uh, product quantity, these are not sensitive data. They're open. Anybody can search it. So Amazon, Walmart, they buy the data, they use the data, they also configure some of their own data. then they run the machine learning algorithm and they comes with price prediction. They set the price for some products. They set the price for month of September, some price, October, some price, and December, some price. And in some countries like US and all, there is it is very much weather dependent. Okay, some part of the country is very weather dependent. Like you go to New York, Boston, and Charlotte and other big cities, the weather is different. Some part of the country like Dallas, Chicago, and some mid states, the weather is very normal. And particularly Texas weather, Kansas City or Missouri or Nashville, Tennessee, they are more like a Indian look-like weather. We still get cold and hot weather, but they're more like a Indian weather. If we go back to western part of the country like California, San Francisco, Seattle, where Microsoft headquarters is there, the weather is altogether different. So in the same month, one region will have more cold, one region will have light cold, and one region still in summer, like North India and South India. If Walmart or Amazon want to sell winter coats, okay, they cannot ship that winter coats to the summer areas like California or San Francisco. Do we sell winter coats to South Indian people more than North Indian, like Himalayan countries, Himalayan states, like we have Delhi, Jammu Kashmir, Uttar Pradesh, some part of Bihar and Kolkata. They get a lot of cold actually. Himachal Pradesh and few other states, Indian states. There, Walmart and Amazon, they try to sell more and more winter coats. They cannot apply the same logic to the southern states like Andhra Pradesh, Tamil Nadu, Telangana, some bigger cities like metropolitan cities like Chennai and Hyderabad, Bangalore. So it goes by a lot of other factors. Okay, let's look at the other use case also, customer segmentation. Let's say we have a Reliance gas station or Reliance communications. Okay, Reliance also provide telecom, right? Reliance provides mobile network. Reliance also provides internet. Reliance also provides commercial internet that people can use in their offices. Am I correct? Can somebody say yes, no? Or Airtel internet provider, not necessarily Reliance. So what I'm trying to say is, under a provider called Airtel, there can be various customers. Depends on their usage. A customer can only be a mobile customer, telecom customer. A customer, he has mobile, he has a home internet, he has office internet, and he also does something with the Airtel internet. So this customer B is more worth than customer A. Customer A is only having one service. So in that case, we need to segment separate the customers according to their business, their revenue, the way they are taking the services, and their duration, their usage patterns, and likewise. That's we call as customer segmentation. And the last part is more of like a autonomous driving and gamified AI, gaming artificial intelligence. Autonomous driving is nothing but this driverless cars like Tesla, Rivian, and whatnot. Maybe in India we have to see more of those kinds. Nowadays, a lot of cities and European cities we are already experience driverless cars delivering pizzas, food, delivering couriers and all that stuff. Even some of the passenger delivery system also autonomous driving, driverless and autonomous driving. Any questions? Anybody want to say something? Are we good? Are we running fast?
We are good.
So let's move to the next one. So now we have seen what is AI, we lightly touched on what is data science, how was data evolving from the last 40 years, 50 years, and what are the data storage, data handling, data holding infrastructure, data transformation, logics, and all. Primarily, we have three cloud systems, three software companies. I can call it as a Microsoft Azure, Amazon Web Services, Google Cloud Platform, GCP. So what happens is to enable the application implementation and execution of all these data science, AI, ML models, machine learning models, we need a software. We need both software and hardware. Okay. So when you look at a provider point of view, Azure, Microsoft Azure provides Azure machine learning, cognitive services, and it also provide Microsoft Azure as a cloud. So it's company's choice, organization's choice. They want to have a cloud, they can buy it from Microsoft. They can also buy Microsoft machine learning services. They can do it with Python. These days, last 5 10 years, Python is getting very fashionable and very lot of usage. The reason is Java and Python both are equally competent, both are OOPs, both are programmatic languages. But Python comes with a simplified, lightweight, object-oriented programming. Same thing can be done with Java, and same thing can be done with Python. You can talk on Apple phone. You can talk on Samsung also. The part that comes is Python comes with a lot of advanced, more simplified, lightweight packages and add-ins. In some cases, not all cases, I'm not going to compare, I'm not going to make a general statement. In some cases, if you need to write 10,000 lines of code in Java, the same functionality, same objective, same implementation can be done with 3,000 lines of with Python. So the end goal we are not changing. We are still chasing the end goal. We are still sticking to what we want to develop with programming, what we want to design. But we are coming with a less number of lines of code. It is always simple. Think of a production issue. If something goes wrong, looking at 10,000 of lines code versus looking of 3,000 of lines code is always easier and simplified, right? And fixing also easy. See, the problem is when we ran into a problem, how quickly, how soon we fix it, and how soon we bring back the system to normality. Especially,
Sir, good morning, sir. One of the
good
student
morning.
having one question, sir.
Mhm.
Morning, sir. Wha- What is cloud? What is cloud AI? What is cloud AI? Can you elaborate?
Which one?
Cloud AI.
Are you referring any of the screens?
Yes, sir.
This one, right? Number four. Can you repeat your question, please?
What is exactly cloud AI? Can you elaborate?
Okay, so what exactly cloud means? Back in those days, we used to have physical virtual machines. If suppose if somebody want to run a lot of programs on at IBM company, they used to have a data center. They used to keep and maintain physical RAM, storage devices, everything. They used to run lot of physical devices to run the company. Nowadays, what happens is because lot of applications and lot of softwares has become SaaS, software as service, PaaS, platform as service. Likewise, all these services has been as a commercialized services. It can be hosted anywhere. Say, for example, if you're getting a Microsoft has data centers throughout. In fact, Google has, Amazon has. Amazon and Microsoft both has their data centers. If I'm not wrong, they both have data centers in Hyderabad, India. Likewise, they have one more center in Mumbai, one more center in New Delhi somewhere. Think back, okay, you are shopping on a website which is hosted on cloud, Microsoft Azure. You are from Kakinada, Andhra Pradesh, okay, and you are hitting a website. You are doing some shopping, okay, like this, okay. So the moment you add a product to your cart, laptop or something like a school bag or anything or books or something, okay. So the traffic goes to the immediate available data center, which is closest to Kakinada is Hyderabad. In case if some reason Hyderabad data center is not available, Hyderabad Microsoft Azure platform is not available, we don't want system to be down and we don't want the user customer to feel bad that this shopping application is not working. This shopping website is not working. So what happens is the data center process that transfer the data request to another nearby center, which is Mumbai. So you see, this is all happening in the air, all happening in the clouds on the network. That is what we call cloud. Typically, in long back, almost in 20, 30 years, we don't have this much advanced in the cloud systems. It used to have a physical machine. So what IBM used to have, they used to have a big data center right next to their software center. They used to maintain virtual machines. Likewise, Amazon come up with their own cloud system. Google also has their own cloud system. Is that clear? We good?
Yes.
Okay. So basically, there are a lot of other cloud platform providers, but there are major top three players. Like and if you look back, your telecom, Airtel, Vodafone, and Reliance are the top three players, right? Top three providers. Likewise, we have Azure and Amazon Web Services and GCP Google Cloud Platform. Yes, please. What is the question? Raised. So now we started
Hello.
seeing what is data science, how the data was there 40 years back, 50 years back, how the infrastructure was very much well advanced. NVIDIA, AMD, Dell, and RMD, few other chip manufacturing and infrastructure manufacturing guys. With the advance of all these, we started capturing and holding and storing more and more data. Okay. So
Sir,
we
we
have
have
more. Go ahead. Somebody saying something.
Hello. Good morning, sir. I have one question.
So we started gathering more data. We started storing and holding more data. We started reading, understanding, classifying them, separating them, deleting them, or enriching them. When I mean to say enriching means I need 100 data points, but I only have 90 data points. I still need remaining 10 data points. So I have to make the remaining 10 data points with programming or algorithmic logic. So we know how to enrich the data. We started cleaning the data. After data cleaning, we will pass the data to data science models and machine learning algorithms. So last 5, 10 years, data science and machine learning models played very vital role in delivering a lot of critical projects. If anybody can recollect, you all know, right? ChatGPT, was it a game changer? Yes, no. ChatGPT. Anybody can tell what year and what month it was introduced? It was released. It was released in November last week, 2022. Within 3 to 4 weeks, it started gathering users like millions of users. ChatGPT earlier version of 1 and 1.5 turbo. Within 3 weeks, 4 weeks, it gained momentum. There was so much hype. Everybody looked at, hey, what is this? Why is this? So it's like another chatbot. Okay, you ask something. Okay, ChatGPT will respond with something. So in that, what happens is when we say ChatGPT, generative progressive transformer GPT. ChatGPT is nothing but GPT, generative progressive transformer. So what it does is it goes back to the knowledge bank, it goes back to the data bank, and it will look back the data, it will run through the data, it will retrieve the data, and it will give you to your question. When you ask something, hey, what is you know how the weather forecasting for next 10 days in Andhra Pradesh, India, okay, it will give some answer. The same thing you can get from weather site also. But asking that question from ChatGPT is more easy. Not only that, okay, ChatGPT will give some reasoning also. Understand? If you look back weather forecasting website versus ChatGPT, okay, both will give the information. But ChatGPT is more user friendly, more readable, and we can apply some logic also to relate and reason it. So why I'm only taking ChatGPT name is we call it as generative AI. So for the user questions and conversation, it is generating the response. It is generating the response. The response is based on the data knowledge bank. And sometimes it is also creates its own. If we are, nowadays we are seeing a lot of AI images. People are using AI for so many reasons. Some good examples, some bad examples. Okay. They're creating images. You are looking me today. Tomorrow somebody can create some other video with my as if like I'm talking. We can make videos with people. We can create new images, new styles, new avatars, new images we never imagined actually. We can take back people to almost 100, 200 years back, how it used to be. We can really apply all this AI and extract the 200 years back how India used to look like, how big Kakinada city, how big Hyderabad used to be. So there are so many magics that we can do around with using AI. That's why we call it as a generative AI, generative artificial intelligence. So to do that, a company called OpenAI was released and first introduced GPT, ChatGPT, Chat Generative Progressive Transformer in November 2020, November 2022 last week. Okay, started giving advanced reasoning and multimodal capacity. What happens oftentimes when Vodafone releases some offer, Airtel releases. After saying Airtel, who's the other guys? Hutch and Reliance, they release the same offer. After 2 months, 3 months, if BSNL thinks that that's a good offer, slowly they will also roll out the same offer. Likewise, company called OpenAI introduced ChatGPT, which is a game changer in machine learning, data science, all these advanced topics that we are talking. Okay, Google released Gemini, and Anthropic released Claude. Meta, which is nothing but Facebook, okay, released Lalama and Mistral. So these are all different large language models. Okay, and what let's say if I want to use ChatGPT, ChatGPT best performance in advanced reasoning and multimodal capacity. If I want to use Google Gemini or something, it's for a different reason or a different use case or a different business requirements. So what I'm trying to say in the whole this slide is there are so many providers of large language models, and this is the list here. Okay, and each large language model has its own advantages and disadvantages. ChatGPT can perform 8 things out of 10. Gemini can perform only 7 out of 10. Or Gemini can outsmart ChatGPT in fewer requirements, fewer user cases. Let's say we have a pharmaceutical industry, we have a natural gas, petroleum industry, we have a retail industry, supply chain industry, we have agriculture industry, we have banking sector, we have health and wellness. Okay, these are all the different industries and different markets. So you apply chat gpt in one market or one use case, which is a good example, and chat gpt might not be a good example in other use case. You have to play around with the data. You have to look for the metrics. You have to look for the key performance indicator. You need to talk with the end user. Hey, I'm using chat gpt for your business requirement, for your use case. How do you feel? This is the solution I'm providing you. How easy for you to complete your own transaction. And for the same transaction, we are also applying Gemini 1.5 and Claude A3. How it looks? You want which color? You want how much weight? You want what flavor? Likewise, there is so many variations that we call it as a A/B testing. We are testing the same requirement. We are testing the same flow, same functionality with different flavors. So likewise, each LLM model is good for various reasons, and some of them are not good for some other reasons. How to determine is we have to trace that with metrics and KPIs, key performance indicators, and OKRs, key results. Sounds good. That's it. So so now you all are pretty much into. We are in the last slide of the day. So if I hear correctly, many of you from third semester, third year, right? So already you guys might be hearing the news that generative AI is booming very massively and replacing lot of jobs. People are losing jobs. Okay. AI is generating code. AI is creating code. I don't need 10 people to generate Python and SQL code. I can use my Microsoft Azure Copilot. I can use some other program. It will write me 1,000 lines of code in 2 minutes. If I want somebody want to write 1,000 lines of code, they need at least 1 or 2 days. So now AI picked up the momentum. AI is capable of enough of writing the code in any language. It can write in Python, it can write in SQL or Java, .NET, any program you give. So down the line from, let's say from this year to down the line from 5 years to 10 years, yes, you all need to be very much practically, very much good expert fluency in one of the programming language. Can be Java, Python is more good, or SAS programming are more good. If you want to jump into this AI and or AI world, you need to get a more and more expert level, you know, application and practice knowledge in Python. Also, go back to the mathematical fundamentals. Look back statistics. Run all your foundational mathematics one more time. Understand the statistics. Understand the logics, algorithms, trigonometry, all that. Then to solve those mathematical problem, we need to apply one program that can be Python, SQL, or R programming or anything. So though AI is replacing people who can code, AI is creating more code. Think of if you know how to create a code, and if you practice, if you learn how to use AI, you are an expert. So you need to know the code to good extent to read that whatever the code AI generated is good or not. So that is going to happen in next 5 to 7 years. So think like practically focus on going back to the fundamentals again and again. Test yourself. Okay. touch different levels, medium complexity, less complexity, more complexity, give all kinds of online tests, get familiarized and go back to the more and more programmatic skills. Then once we have good extent of, in this case, if you have good extent of Python programming, test yourself. Ask your friends to test you. Ask your teachers or professors or seniors to interview you. Test your coding levels. Then after apply your, get familiar with all these machine learning models. What model can be applied to what problem, and what are all the clouds. Clouds are Microsoft Azure, GCP, and AWS, and how to use them. What are the frameworks? And as and you grow more into in the industry and usage of all these, you will become architect. You will define ML ops, and then you will guide and monitor and lead the teams who develop the code, either direct code generation or using any AI software. The more focus is going to be, don't get panic. AI is not erasing all the jobs. AI is not taking all the jobs. The momentum is going to shift. So AI is going to create more jobs. AI is going to create more and more jobs. But the question we need to ask ourselves is, are we ready to take advantage of that? Are we in a state to take the help from AI and do the work? Understand the code, AI generated code, fix that, add more code to that, and deploy to the production. Solve the problem, build the products. So think like, don't get panic or don't get too much into AI takes jobs. No, that's not happening. Yes, in some areas, which is very tedious, very old. Some areas, yes, AI is changing all that momentum, but AI is going to create more and more jobs. The question we need to ask ourselves is, are we ready? Can we make AI, Python, SQL, English communication as our friend, so that we can take better help from, better guidance from AI, and we can still build the products and software applications. Good. So that's all. I'm stopping the share. If anybody any questions, we can talk on that.
Hello, sir. What are the specific AI specific problems are used to try to solve with AI?
Can we go with first question? What are the main AI
Can I
ML
test, sir?
tools or company prefers? Can we answer that question? Can you all see that in the chat window? The first question is, what are the main AI ML tools our company prefers? Okay, that's a good question. So basically, fundamentally, the programming language we can take up is Python or R. We can do with Java, but we are inviting more complexity, more dependencies, more maintenance. It can be done with Java, it can be done with SQL, it can be done with .NET and other programs. But the more and more older versions and older style of programming we are choosing, it will invite more maintenance. It takes more time for creation. It times more time for maintenance. It times more time for dependencies. Instead, choose the simplest one. Choose the simplest one. Choose the simplest and greatest architecture that anybody can jump into the code. Anybody can look into the code, tools, and technologies, and they can solve the problem in when you are absent. So we want to build our system so reliable and so dependable that systems and software applications has to be self-reliable, redundant. We want to remove the dependency on the people. Tomorrow I'm here working for so and so project name ABC. After 3 years, 4 years, I'll move to another company. Somebody will come in my place. Think of like that. So we always have to look like, think like building simplified, high value, high purposeful, big impact solutions that anybody with minimal training, no training, or with a little bit of experience or mid-range experience can come in, fix the problem and solve the problem and bring the system back to normal. So we will go to another question. Can you tell me a recent project where AI made a big business impact? Example. Okay. So, let's go back to example. Okay. Like, I'm students in Telangana, somebody now there's a lot of people for other courses, so, right? So that could be people, right?
Hello.
Okay.
Sir, good morning, sir.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Hello. Good morning, sir.
Yes, yes, we can. Good morning. We can hear
Sir,
you. Please go ahead.
how does cloud AI reduce infrastructure cost for startups? Hello.
We'll go to that. Can I answer this question first? The one in the chat.
Okay, okay, sir.
Yeah, let's finish that and we'll go back to your question.
Okay, sir.
So think like a you know national bank, SBI. Okay, how many customers does SBI will have? Million, at least two, 10 million, 20 million, 1 crore people. India has 143 crores of population, right? How many customers there will be for State Bank of India? Because State Bank of India is a government central bank. It has more customers, right? Than ICICI, HDFC, or Axis Bank, and whatnot, other private banks or semi-government banks. SBI has a lot of customer base. Okay, so think that a lot of people apply for SBI credit cards and loans. Okay, if we can take the help of AI to determine the applicant scores, applicant eligibility to repay the loan or repay the credit card balance. Okay, we need to use AI and we need to finish the application in a day or two. We cannot hold it for a month. Hey, I applied today, come back after 30 days and I will tell you whether you are approved or not. That's not a good experience. You only need, unless there is a manual intervention, it has to take only 3 or 4 days to process everything. Either you approve or you deny it. This is where we can take let me tell you one more example. Okay, there's a call center. Forget about loans and car. Going back to SBI example one more time. Let's say SBI has those 24 customers. At least percentage of those customers calls to SBI to ask some question. The question can be normal bank account opening, checking account, saving accounts, and mortgage, whatever it is. Let's say only 30 million, 30 lakhs or 40 lakhs people calls SBI every day. How much effort is required? How many people we need to put them into a call center? And to solve, to talk to each customer, if we spend 5 minutes, 10 minutes also, how much time it is going to be? Some questions system can answer. Some questions, simple questions, some examples, system can answer, AI can answer, AI can give some information, and customer take that information and cut the call, end the call. Some customer he called 5 days back. The customer transaction did not complete. He called back again today, but the customer agent, the contact center agent who's helping to the customer, unless he or she has the previous interaction, previous notes, 5 days before what happened, cannot give good customer interaction, good customer response today. The the customer contact center agent can only respond to the maximum possible best possible solution only what happened 5 days back. What did the customer agent and the customer talks, and now what I can do. So you can divert the traffic. Some customers, yes, some of the customers, okay, some are applying home loans, some are applying credit card loans. Likewise, we can classify the customers. We can determine the customer behavior. This customer is angry, customer is shouting, customer is not happy, and the customer is in good mood. He has two questions. He is so much a used with SBI in last 2 or 3 years, but he still has another question. Likewise, you can extract all that patterns, and based on the system, after reading all that customer behavior and customer interaction, the contact center agent can learn more, can talk nicely. If the customer is angry, abusive, and going out of control, the same way customer contact center agent cannot respond. It's a violation. It's not a good experience. So in sometimes customer agent has to talk very nicely, politely, asking what customer is required, what he needs. If he or she can't, he can escalate that to the next supervisor. Think like 30 million, 40 minutes of customer calls handling. One example. Look back Christmas time or Diwali, Dasara times, holiday season. Lot of shopping happens. Sometimes electronic sales also happen. Samsung and LG they run offers time to time. They sell millions of products. Okay. When people are selling and putting listing products in the market for selling for the holiday season, subsequently there will be lot of calls. Calls on the products, product details, calls on the availability, how soon it will be available, what is the price, what color you have, cars also. So you can take a lot of UI in every case. That's the big impact that you can do. And I can tell a number of examples. Immediately also, products also, weather forecasting. Okay, we have almost 30 states in India. Okay, 30 states has so many small towns and villages. Okay, it is regional level. It goes like that. Okay, we'll go to the what was the other question somebody asked actually? Let's go to the question.
How can this gener
What was the question?
how can this generative AI be combined with robotics and IoT?
Robotics and IoT.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
So IoT is streaming and capturing more of a simulation, right? Internet of Things. If you look at industrial manufacturing sector, okay. Earlier what happens is a lot 10 years back or 15 years back, okay, until the system fails, until there is a breakage, until there is a problem, it is very hard to discover that. It is hard to find it out and it is hard to come back with a preventive plan. Nowadays with the advancement of IoT, in your example, industrialization and manufacturing sectors, look like example of manufacturing, a big garment manufacturing factory, okay, if they can take use of this simulation and all, they can what kind of skill programming language, and mathematics, stats, trigonometry, algorithms, all very core, fundamentally all mathematics. Then after you program, you apply all these machine learning programs and all, you still need a lightweight visualization tool. It can be Power BI, Tableau, Alteryx. Have some amount of understanding on that as well. So focus on learning the data science and machine learning fundamentals. Okay, then apply that your mathematical all that fundamentals to this problem, and you can also have some tools like Power BI and Alteryx as a presentation. Okay, how does cloud AI reduce infrastructure cost for startups? That's a good question. So basically, this is like a tenant. Okay, tenant versus a owner. As a startup, if you want to buy a house, obviously it is high expensive. Okay, when I say buy a house means you bring your own, you buy infrastructure from infrastructure providers, you own it, you use it, and you maintain it. Versus if you rent them or if you buy them as a tenant as a service, okay, you only pay for what you use. You don't need to pay, the entire cost. You want to pay for 1 year, use for 1 year, pay for 1 year, and get out of it. That's it. Here the comes how AI reduce the infrastructure cost. So once you have this infrastructure set up and you're using, okay, start gathering the data points about the infrastructure, how the infrastructure is responding, how much you need. Let's say you need a 10 MB data processor for some time during the day. You don't need the same level of data and bandwidth during the night times, because number of users are obviously going to be less. A lot of people sleep in night time and nobody does active shopping. Agree with me, Malesh? So you can have high traffic, you can make all your infrastructure available during the daytime, and you can reduce that size to half of the day size during the night time, and you can save some cost.
Yeah, sir. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Hello, sir.
So are we good?
I have a question, sir.
Go ahead.
Mm. How does the chat GPT different from the Copilot, sir? Is the both chatbots are using the same algorithms?
Can you repeat that question?
How does the chat GPT different from the Copilot, sir? Is the both
Mm.
chatbots are using the same algorithms?
Yeah, more or less same algorithm.
Okay, sir.
Both are Microsoft. ChatGPT is OpenAI's brainchild. Okay.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Microsoft never made ChatGPT. Instead, they partnered with OpenAI, and OpenAI allowed Microsoft to use ChatGPT, so that if we are on Microsoft Azure cloud platform, we can use ChatGPT. Versus Copilot, Microsoft Copilot is Microsoft own self-made product. They are not as good as ChatGPT, but still this is also a large language model, can do some amount of work, but not as good as ChatGPT. So some simple applications like writing a resume, writing a song, or creativity, illumination, or something. You want to do something. Copilot, you can start with Copilot. But to do a real complex projects, to do a real complex solutions, Copilot is not a good use. You need to come back to the large language model, either ChatGPT or LLM, Claude, Gemini, or something else. You understand the difference?
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
No problem. Welcome. Hello, Durga, are we good?
Hello. How do LLMs like ChatGPT actually learn language patterns from the data?
Can you repeat that question?
How do LLMs like ChatGPT learn language patterns from the data?
Okay, that's a good question. So let's say every day morning we look at newspapers, right? We read newspapers, right?
So,
So newspaper might have 10 pages or 15 pages. Okay. So first two pages might be dedicated to some news, the middle pages are dedicated to some news, and obviously the last page goes to sports and movies. Correct? Can be badminton, football, cricket, local games, everything. Okay. So while they are doing that, they have something in the mind. They want to keep some news in the page number one and two, and page number four and five goes to something, and last two pages goes to sports. Okay. Likewise, each and every document, every data that you are giving to LLM will be translated into windows. It's called vectors. Okay. You have horizontally rows and you have vertically columns. If I say 1 cross 1, it is first column, first row. If I say 1 cross 2, if I say 1 cross 100, first column, 100th you know, row.
sir.
Likewise, data windows will be vectorized, vector database or vectorized embeddings. So every data that you are giving input to LLM as an input will be categorically separate into matrix format, rows and columns format. If suppose if I'm using a chat GPT, I'm asking, hey, what is the weather for today, Mumbai, India. Okay. Now I'm passing Mumbai as a parameter, India as a parameter, and I'm asking another word or keyword weather for Mumbai, India. So the LLM goes back to the data, looks for Mumbai, India, looks for weather, and brings that value and responds back. So systematically, it is divided into rows and columns into matrix format, which we call it as vectors. Oftentimes, what will happen is it's more of generative AI, generates the response. You ask a question, and large language model looks back all the data, retrieves, extract the data, summarize, shortens the data, and respond back to you. Sometimes you are not satisfied with the data. You will ask again, can you give more accurate information? I know you gave me some information, but I'm not good with that. Can you give me more accurate information? Ask that question. It goes back again. It looks for if there is anything in the page number 2 or page number 10 or page number 5,000, 10,000, anything related to Mumbai, India weather. Then it comes back with more accurate information. If there is no additional information, even after it looks for, okay, it throws back the original uh, response back to you. So the data points, it will be separated into vertical and horizontal vectors and embeddings. And a word might have 5 letters, 10 letters. Okay, a sentence is a short sentence, long sentence, long short. Likewise, there are various techniques that you can use to embed in the large language model responses.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
No problem.
Thank you, sir.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
My name is Jason Sai, sir. Is it
Hmm?
a is Is it AI really? Is it AI really replace the human job role, sir? Is it AI really replace the job role, sir? Human job role.
Some jobs are getting replaced by AI. Example is somebody said robots. Okay,
Yes, sir.
let's say if I'm constructing a giant to you, if I can hire 5 or 10 robots who can carry the bricks from one place to another place, the job can be done by a robot, right?
Yes, sir.
The job can be done by a robot, and the robot can follow the AI instructions and perform the same job. We don't need humans.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Practically is the dream. That's one example, and customer care center. So there are several examples. Nowadays, we are seeing in hospitals also robots, very well trained, carefully trained, carefully deployed robots are performing surgeries with very, very accurate. In heart surgery, some of the robots are performing.
Thank you, sir.
No.
Good morning, sir.
Good
Sir, my,
morning.
my name is Vamsi, sir. Sir, how to convert a normal city to a smart city?
How to convert a city to a normal?
It's a normal city. How to convert a smart city?
Yeah. Can you elaborate more? I got you, but I want to everybody to understand your question. Elaborate more. Same that you said with more words.
It is a normal city to convert a smart city. It
Okay.
is a city to all of AI models.
Okay. So what do you want to do with that? You don't want to walk yourself. You don't want to eat. You want AI to come and feed you, or you want to AI to come and shake your legs and hands,
Sir,
or you want AI to do drive the things. You
AI,
sit at home.
AI cameras, AI CC cameras, automation driving cars, all our cities doing in the smart city, AI smart city, sir. How to convert, sir? Doing AI.
So basically, it's good to an extent AI can be applied. And we cannot do or apply AI in every aspect of our life. Okay. Though AI is picking up intelligence, brain, and acting autonomously, they are not as powerful as human brains. Human brain still has a lot of power. We have to use it. So, in the lot of examples like traffic control, traffic monitoring, alerting, if there is a traffic jam on so and so highway, with all this technology advancement and our AI help, we can alert the drivers and traffic to take alternative route. Okay. Sometimes, hit and run. People do accidents. They are careless. They don't care for the, people who got injured in the accidents, and they'll simply run away. They will escape. In that case, if we have a point to point camera system or some or the other way to get the, video or photographs to tell what happened, we can cut the culprits. We can cut the culprits and we can bring them to the judiciary system. We can find out them and we can make them responsible. By doing so, what will happen is people will start to be disciplined on the roads. They knows that they will be caught. So there are a lot of examples actually. I look back in agriculture industry or agriculture. If we can tell the hey in this year it's going to be heavy rains, this year it's going to be more drought. There are no rains. No farmers will start doing the agriculture. They will wait. Or you tell them, hey, instead of waiting for 4 months, you start your farming and you finish up your farming in 3 to 4 months. By the time more rains comes, you take out all your crop from the fields. You get benefited. We can there are a lot of use cases, and that is one example. Another example is, let's say, Kakinada, which is East Godavari and West Godavari. They're very famous for rice and paddy growing, right? Think of applying drone and AI. Look back all the fields in the first 10 days, next 20 days, 30 days, like a cycle periodically. We are looking at all the crops. If we can determine the diseases that comes to the paddy, plants. Hey, in 10 days or 5 days, this disease is going to be become more severe. Come back, send a notice to the farmer. You apply so and so medicine or so and so vitamins, or give more water, something like that. You prescribe something that will save the uh, uh, that will save the agriculture industry. That will save the farmers. Obviously, farmer will produce more, harvest more, produce more from the farms, and we will have more food. Obviously, prices will be controlled when you have a more supply. Correct. So there are several examples that you can apply. And look back, a lot of people goes to hospitals, examine, take every person's DNA, blood samples, everything, and derive a AI pattern that how people are getting sick, what are all the dangerous sicknesses, and how it can be detected in the early stages. If somebody can get blind in 5 years, 10 years, their eyesight will be go worst and worst. How that can be detected 5 years earlier, so that doctors can give preventive treatment to help the patients. There are several examples. If we go like this, the list goes on. Does that helps? You're welcome.
Hello, sir. Hello, sir. This is Dean Academics, Ram. So, what certifications are most valuable for our students, sir? Because these are third-year BTech students. So, uh, these will become the fresh graduates next year. So, what are the certifications they can cover, and what are the topmost for them to cover, sir?
On the programmatic side, online testing, online practice tools. Okay. You can look for and you can cover each level, beginner level, basic, medium, and expert level. And you can use that information in your profile. When you are creating your profile end of next year, you can tell that, hey, I'm a certified Python specialist or SQL specialist or data analytics specialist. And these are the certifications. One thing. Secondly, you can go back to always go back to Microsoft. Time to time, Microsoft announce beginner certifications, and they will ask you to write some code. They will ask you to do some practice and assessment. Once we complete, it will generate a course of completion with your name and with your credentials. That will help you to present yourself during the interviews once you are closing your graduation. Microsoft has that, Amazon Web Services has that, and GCP has that. Sometimes big companies like IBM, TCS, Accenture, they also have some certifications and free education. People can simply go into online their websites and look for any online trainings or online courses. I also can share one thing. So a lot of times when we want to practice data science model or machine learning models, okay, we use Google. You need data, right? So we use Google. You see my screen You see my screen.
Yes, Ram.
So yeah, when you log into Gmail, you can ask for Google data. You will have a lot of data sets. Think about all the 200 colleges in engineering colleges, courses, the faculty details, the student details in one data Excel sheet. You can determine, male or female, how many students are in the first year, how many students are second year. You can get all the numbers. I think back, we have a postal code, right? Zip code, postal code, post office code. So each city will have a post office code, right? You can get the post office codes from Google Data India. Get all the Indian postal codes, and once you have the data, you can create you can see of postal codes. What city is close to what city? What city is far from this postal code to that postal code? And this postal code, how many people are leaving? How many people are leaving? How many people are earning more money? How many people are not earning good money? Or what profession people do? These people are employees, people are regular workers, there are more blue collar jobs, there are people more are farmers, or people more are other professions. You can derive that. So you can get that data. Secondly, you need to get into the competitions also sometimes. So everybody can take up this challenge, start at some place. Hey, I'm good at Python. I'm good. I know a little bit of machine learning and data science. I want to solve a problem. And somebody, the road accident can happen between Kakinada and Rajahmundry, and somebody at what mile, what turning, what location there is more chances that accident might happen on the highway between Kakinada to Hyderabad. Okay. People are interested in sports, right? There will be Cricket World Cup coming in next year or later next year. Obviously, there will be bilateral teams, including India. Who can be the winner? Can you predict? Likewise, you guys all can, take competition in all these competitions and test your knowledge. Okay, there are data sets also. And if you want to know the code also, you can even get the code also. Okay. So, say, for example, predicting a road accident. Okay. Cancer risk factor prediction. What is the probability that some person might get cancer? If we know there is a high probability and high risk, we can start the early treatment, right? That's how the car sales, BMW car sales. Okay, houses prediction. How is the housing market in tier 2 cities like Kakinada and Rajahmundry? How is the housing market in bigger cities like Vizag, Hyderabad, Vijayawada, all that cities? There's so many examples. Okay, cities and areas, how the people's living styles, how is the Airbnb? Okay, there are so many examples. It's one example, but you guys can Google it. All it matters is how consistently you practice and how you are framing your idea, approach, and knowledge to each machine learning model or data science model. Okay, let's say there is a data science model called X. X won't work for all business problems. It won't solve all your problems. It only solves some specialized problems. In that case, you have to go to the model ABCD. Likewise, you have to keep on experimenting that until you hit the final target. Okay. Are we running out of time? Are we good?
Yes, we are good, Ram. If students have no questions,
or any questions further, I'll get back to you.
Yeah. Another 10 minutes. We can take a couple of questions if anybody has any question. I think we are good.
Yeah.
Mr. Ramkiran, hello.
Yeah.
I hope the Q&A session got closed. Mr. Ramkiran, is it fine? Just give me a moment. Time is running out, so we can close the session. So thank you.
Thank you everyone and wishing you all good luck, all the best. Stay focused and get into more programming, coding, going back to the mathematics fundamentals, algorithms, machine learning models, statistics, all that. Good luck, everyone. Nice talking to
Thank
you.
you so much. Thank you so much, Mr. Ram, sir. I'm sure our students got a lot of inspiration from your session. And we hope to have more such interactive sessions from your end in future. So thank you. Thank you so much for your time.
Sure, yeah. Please
Sir,
talk to
thank you, sir.
Durga and Tech
Thank you,
Data,
sir.
Shiva Kupratit. They are the ones to be, take all this.
Oh,
For
okay.
them.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Ram, for this session. And if anything else needed from you, I'll get back to you.
Sure. There's one question in the chat window. I want to answer that.
Okay.
Can we go ahead?
Yes, sir,
Yeah.
please.
What is knowledge representation in AI? So knowledge means, let's say we have a legal and judiciary system. There are so many sections. Earlier it used to be APC sections. Now we are calling it as BNS, Bharat Nyaya Samhita or something, BNS sections. The law book and judiciary system is very vast and very huge, right? So what happens is oftentimes when judges and all these you know judiciary people, they want to announce any judgment, they will go by case. They will look at the sections, they will look at the content, what it was written there, how this can be applied to this particular case. In that case, all that judiciary content we can call it as knowledge. Okay. So for any person who want to get into this legal and judiciary practice, if they can use AI and they can ask some questions and they can get that responses. Okay. Another example, somebody from Kakinada JNTU, right? Kakinada JNTU third year AIML students, if they want to do research and development, innovation and quantum computing, physics and mechanics, if they want to discover, they want to get into the NASA and Indian Space Organization, ISRO, okay, they have to look back a lot of past information. That's called knowledge, or that's called the information. The content, whole content itself is information. If we can give that information to the AI, okay, okay, now that information is either in the books or in the soft copies or in some pages, some books or somewhere, but it is laying unorganized. With the help of AI, we can ask to AI to reorganize it, make it more beautiful, make it more simplified. We don't want to lose the meaning. We don't want to lose the essence of it. We don't want to lose the content. But still, we can remove some unnecessary, unwanted, unimportant, unrelevant. Something what happened 200, 300 years back is not relevant anymore as of today, 2025. Okay, it is totally irrelevant. Some cases, not all cases. Some cases, it's totally irrelevant. What happened 100, 150 years back? How it used to be systems back 100, 150 years. Nowadays, it won't relate anymore. It is not relevant anymore. As an example, 100 years back or 50 years back, even to the point 25, 30 years back, we all Indians, we can run, we can do anything without using mobile phone. Nowadays, think of all you all having, we can't do anything without mobile phone. Somebody you all can recollect. We used to recollect almost 20, 30 mobile numbers, at least 30, 40 mobile numbers, including parents' numbers. Now, check yourself how many you guys can recollect without looking at phone, without looking at your screen, can memorize and can tell how many phone numbers, mobile numbers of your friends or family members. So what is happening is something is we are losing our memory. We are depending on so much on AI, which is the side effect, and there's nothing can be done at this point. What I'm trying to say is what I'm trying to say is something that happened several years back or several decades back might not relevant anymore. We don't need that actually. That content, that information can be removed or that can be least prioritized. If I want to give a ranking, a scoring to my knowledge, I will give more weightage, more importance, more priority to the latest knowledge, latest things that are very much relevant to the current world and current world scenario. I cannot apply, 1,000, 2,000 years back what happened, how kings were fought, how agriculture was made, how people hunted animals and how they eat meat. All that, yes, it's good to know. We need to understand the background, history, everything. But in some cases, it's not relevant. For bringing that irrelevant, unnecessary, not needed information will pollute all the real and important critical content, and it will uh, pollute it will reduce the accuracy of the knowledge. That is what we do, with knowledge presentation. We want to preserve the right good amount of much needed, very well suitable, very well relevant knowledge, so that we can pass on it to the next generation. That's what called knowledge representation in here. Okay. Good. Nice meeting you all and wish you all the very best, everyone.
Thank you, sir.
Yep.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, madam. Nice talking to you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.